Tea. You know it.
Yeah, we're talking about the plant that you drink.
You know, when I found out that tea, the different types of tea, were all from the same plant, it blew my mind.
Yeah.
You know, and I was a lot older than I should have been when I realized this. My hands are sweaty.
My hands are dry. Maybe if we rub our hands together, we can
That's
average it out.
disgusting.
I need some moisture. Is the coffee done?
The coffee's done.
Ooh, I want
You
coffee.
Look at the rainbow. We'll probably get the little. It might be too out of focus for the viewers, but the little icon showing me that I need to descale my Aiden. But that's pretty good. I've had it for a year now, and just now telling me to descale.
You want me to pour for you?
Oh, sure. Why not?
Okie doke. I can't see in there. How's that look?
You're good. Yeah.
Say
that's
when.
probably good. That's about halfway. When?
When?
Say when. You told me.
So you've had the Aiden for about a year now?
Yeah.
It's a long time.
340
Not a long time, but
some days. I
went
think.
by quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
It's good.
it's cool. You feel like you know how to use it now?
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like I experiment with it less now than I used to. But
That's kind of, I don't know, maybe it's a good and bad thing. Like maybe you just kind of know how to use it. You don't have to mess around with it.
yeah.
But
Yeah. But it's always there if I'm experimenting with a new coffee and all.
yeah, one
You
thing
know.
you got to try is see. I think it can do a cold bloom.
You can.
You really
I
gotta-
have tried that.
What'd you think?
Like 145 degree bloom.
Okay.
Didn't really make that much of a difference. It maybe was like a little bit sweeter, the coffee that I had. I needed to maybe do some more testing.
Yeah, because you
side by
probably
side.
just try it once.
I just tried it once
Yeah.
and by itself. You know, it wasn't a side by side blind tasting.
Compare.
That does sound fun.
Maybe we should do that.
Yeah.
It would be much easier to do with something like that, to where we can control the variables.
Yeah. Brew side by side. Put some blindfolds on.
Blindfolds,
Yep.
hot coffee and blindfolds. It seems, maybe we just put them in cups so we can't tell the difference.
Whatever.
I think that's good enough.
It's not as interesting to the YouTube people out there. But all right.
One of us can wear a blindfold, and the other person doesn't, but it's just for looks.
Yeah.
Do they have blindfolds with like eye holes in them?
Those are just called like masks. Like the
Do they make
Ninja
like
Turtles?
Do they make blindfolds for cheating where it looks like you can't see, but it's actually really thin around your eyes?
Yeah. Just like a shear tied around your head. What episode is this now? 30.
33.
33.
Is that it?
Yeah, the big 3-3.
Wow. Jack, what are we drinking?
We're
today?
drinking Colombia Buesaco from Nariño. Really high elevation, 2,100 meters above sea level.
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 L-E-V-E-L.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep.
It's good stuff. Notes of strawberry, chamomile, caramel. Have you
Smells
had
good.
this coffee yet?
You gave me a little bit of it a couple weeks
But it was
ago.
very fresh.
Yes, it was fresh.
Yes.
So I'm excited to try
So
it.
this
once
is
a
now-
little bit, farther off roast.
Almost a couple weeks off of roast.
Norman tried it too. Just a tiny bit.
That's crazy.
just a taste. He didn't like,
Just like rub it on his gums or something.
yeah, something like that.
Crazy. Did he like it? What was his reaction?
He more so he didn't, react with a sour face or an excited
good.
face. He just kind of molded over. He's like, interesting.
Deep in thought.
Interesting.
That's smart.
Yeah.
This guy is
So
smart.
you can tell he's thinking about it.
Yep. He's gonna be a coffee connoisseur for sure.
Already
see it
is. I
in
mean,
his
the
eyes.
first taste, he's like,
Yeah.
Everything else, he's either
contemplation on your first sip. That's crazy.
gave him a little bit of like green pea, and he's like, or gave him a little bit of banana, and he's like, But with the coffee, he's like,
This guy knows ball. That's crazy.
yeah. This is good. It is very strawberries. I think that's a spot on note. Honestly, all of the notes are good. Sometimes I don't agree with you guys as much, or I can't get in your head. But this
Taste
I feel like
is
this
subjective. What I've been doing kind of a new thing recently where I will roast a small batch of these coffees before we launch them, just like an 8-pound batch, the smallest we can do in our Diedrich, and then we will send it out for everyone to taste in the cafe. Behind the bar, not guests just yet. We'll have all of the baristas taste some of this coffee, or whoever wants to, and then as many people as I can. Give me flavor notes. Give me, what do you think of the acidity? Where should this lie on the calm and wild scale? So I'll just take I have like, most of these coffees, I have up to like 20 to 30 flavor notes for these.
Nice.
And then I boil them down. And I feel like that averaging out everyone's gives them maybe more accurate flavor notes, because sometimes people will say notes and I'm like, I just didn't think of that. But that's absolutely.
Or those fun notes, and they're just
and I just throw them away.
They're just not good.
I rip them up. I'm looking at you. You know who you are.
That's great though, Jack. I feel like one that helps you understand, because with tasting notes, right? You're telling a lot of different palates.
Yes.
What they're tasting here.
Yeah.
And palates perceive things differently, you know. And like I feel like you, Adam, Dan, you guys all like a little bit more acidity. You're more used to it, so you'll perceive things a little differently.
Yeah, I feel like for the majority, the notes that I have an easier time picking out is like fruit, especially tart fruits, and I have a harder time telling those more savory, more spice notes. And that's, I mean, I would not have come up with chamomile or caramel, but I did think I came up with strawberry. But I had a hard time putting strawberry on this one, because it's like, it's not the entire strawberry. It's only certain parts of it. Like, it has the sweetness, a little bit of the sweetness, but a lot of the tartness.
So it's almost like a creamy strawberry, like strawberry cake or ice cream, like in that context.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
Give me some strawberry shortcake.
I have to make some.
You have to, or we have to?
Well, you just gave me an idea. We have the ice cream maker at home now. And so anytime I hear something that sounds good, I'm like, heck, I could do that.
Man,
doesn't that sound good?
What a joy it is to be able to make things.
Yeah. I think an unintended positive consequence of that, though, too, is you're helping, you're training people up to taste things, which is sweet.
It's like helping the team take part of these coffees and get excited about them. Also takes it off of my plate of having to come up with flavor notes. And just like, there's been so many times I remember just drinking coffee, just staring and just like really trying to think. And it's my own fault, because I've busied myself with a million other things to do. So it's like, I have other things in my mind. So trying to write flavor notes in the midst of that, sometimes it's hard. So it's nice to have help with that.
Yeah, but coming up with flavor notes is hard.
Yes.
And so that's cool that the rest of the staff is participating in that, and that's training them how to taste things better.
It's fun.
It's cool.
It's fun.
So today we are talking about tea. Yeah.
Capital T.
Capital T. That's it. T-shirts, T-ball, T-pain, T-rhinosaurus. Rex. Oh, I can't believe I didn't just say T-Rex. What's wrong with me?
We gotta stop it now. All right.
T-pterodactyl. Just kidding. There's no T in that. Well,
there is, but it's not.
There is, but yeah.
P is silent.
Pterodactyl.
That's crazy. Tea. You know it.
Yeah, we're talking about the plant that you drink.
You know, when I found out that tea, the different types of tea, were all from the same plant, it blew my mind.
Yeah.
You know, and
it's crazy.
I was a lot older than I should have been when I realized this.
Oh, yeah, just a couple years ago.
Yeah, seriously.
Hannah told me that.
Like, you know, the black tea and the green tea that tastes so wildly different from each other. They're just the same leaf. It's exact same leaf from the same plant. I thought maybe,
chamomile too, right?
But it's a different. That's crazy.
That's not true.
It just comes from a different, I thought maybe different varietal of tea plants, but no, it's just the same plant. Yeah, there are different varietals, but black tea and green tea can come from the same exact plant. Yeah, it's just about oxidation, rolling the leaf. It's mind blowing to me. The whole. It's similar to coffee in a lot of ways. Tea is how the processing affects the flavor.
You know a lot about rolling leaves.
You know, that's what I do every weekend, bro.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
that's not true. Also not true.
No,
don't believe everything you hear, guys.
Tea leaves.
Tea leaves. So
I roll my own tea leaves.
I think the first question kind of is, does tea belong in a specialty cafe? Right? Coffee's your thing, right? Yeah. One, should you involve tea? Is it good to involve tea, or should you even do it at all?
I mean, I think you can, but I think it really depends. Is this something you're passionate about? If you're opening a coffee shop, maybe because you're passionate about coffee. Are you passionate about tea as well? Do you want to be passionate about it? It's okay not to be passionate about it yet, but is that something you want to explore? And can you do it well? That's what we're going to talk about.
Yeah. I think that there are people that would say, there's a lot of ways to think about like what additional things other than serving coffee well you're going to do at a cafe, right? Whether it's tea, that's also behind bar, or food.
Yeah.
Right. There are multiple things, and there are different philosophies on it. And there are some people that are like, no, we're not going to do anything else besides serve coffee well. We're not going to bake pastries. We'll buy them maybe and we'll offer them, but we're not going to worry about that. We're not going to worry about food. We're not going to worry about teas. We just serve coffee.
Yeah. I mean, it's all about your philosophy. Do you want to be the place that is like just the best coffee ever? And that is your only focus. You don't make your own food. You don't do any of the other stuff. You do coffee, and you do that really well. If that's your philosophy, keep doing that. But there is room for expansion in a coffee shop. And after owning a coffee shop for a couple of years, you'll see that need and that want to expand. But that's up to you to decide, does that fit into your vision?
It kind of depends on your customer base too. Like if you're in a larger city and there's hundreds of good or just even existing cafes that somebody could go to, and you want to fill a niche, and that niche is we serve exceptional coffees. And so that is just all we do. All of our time and energy, everything that goes across the bar is just serving exceptional coffees. Maybe you primarily sell pour-overs for that reason. Maybe you don't, maybe you don't even serve lattes, right? Like there's a degree to where you can do that. But that does depend on your customer base, right? With any business, right? If your customers aren't interested, you're not in business.
Yeah, that's true. You need your customers.
Then there's the other. Maybe there's two sides, and there's places where you can meet in the middle. The other side is we want to just be a comfortable meeting place for everybody. And then that's where you're going to offer pretty much anything that you can. You'll offer a lot of stuff. Maybe you'll offer, you'll offer teas, you'll offer food, you'll offer pastries. Maybe you'll offer alcohol if you can.
That's a slippery slope. No, I'm kidding.
You'll offer all of this stuff. You'll have maybe long hours and, do all of this stuff to just make it like a space for everybody, but not really have it be for anybody. I think is maybe kind of the that's the other end.
It's easy to just, to spread yourself thin too quickly, and then you're just not giving the care that each sector of your business needs, and then you're doing nothing well, But I think Mundos' approach to it was, at first, we didn't have much cafe experience at all. So we were just kind of figuring out as we go along, and we did have some baked goods, but we didn't have food. We didn't have any tea. Heck, we didn't have any decaf. It was just coffee. That was it. And then
I don't remember that.
We went hard on the coffee. We had amazing coffee. We were in the process of perfecting the craft as our guests were coming in and helping us perfect the craft, really. And then from there, we saw the need for these other things to add. People wanted them. People wanted to be able to bring their friends. That's another part of your business, is that while you may have delicious coffee, and there will be people coming for that, will they bring their friends? If you're not going to have an option to include the rest of the friends, they may not. But that's what we did. It was slowly and surely we added things. We had a delicious decaf option. We built out a tea bar. But with whatever we did, we didn't just do it halfway. We were like, let's look into this. Let's see what it takes, and how can we do it well, and then like take it a step further and do it exceptionally. Like we had a whole, and we went very overkill, but like a whole separate tea bar we built specifically for that. And we were debating for a while having a spot where customers can come up and re-steep their own teas and like take care of their own teas and have that like ownership of it almost, because that is something that people do in different cultures. Is it's just you'll go to a tea bar and you have your own tea leaves and you can re-steep those all day long. But we had a lot of delicious teas and we were very strict, very like this is exactly how many ounces we steep. We had different steep amounts for here cups and then to go cups for whatever reason.
I think that was...
We did have a reason, but like...
Yeah, the reason was because of like presentation, the glassware you use, and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, well, presentation and also like taste. If you're going to have it for here, you're probably going to drink it faster. And if you have it to go, it's going to take longer to drink, and it's going to be in the cup for longer. So that would mean that a larger or less concentrated amount in your cup would extract slower, and the smaller amount would extract faster. And the for here tea did most of the time taste better, but because of the way you were enjoying it in a glass, and it wasn't cooling down because you were drinking it quickly.
I forgot that there was a time where there was no decaf coffee. Yeah. That sounds extremely challenging.
It was, and
to be behind the bar.
We did offer a decaf option, and we didn't have a decaf grinder.
Cup of hot water?
We made every decaf shot on an AeroPress for a long time.
Wow.
Or, I don't know, maybe a couple months. But it was like anytime somebody orders decaf, and we're like, oh, I got to go over to Slow Bar. We gotta switch the EK43 to the finest grind size, grind your coffee, and then like push it, squeeze it out of the AeroPress. And I don't think there was... When did Fellow release the Fellow Prismo? Because I don't think we didn't even have that. It was just like a really concentrated AeroPress brew. It wasn't true espresso, I'll tell you that much. But it really wasn't...
Starting a small business, folks.
It really wasn't that bad. You got to do what you got to do sometimes, you know? And then we quickly realized that that's not plausible to do at scale. So we had to purchase another grinder, which was a Baratza. And that actually works decently well for that, which is funny.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So there's a couple variations of what kind of tea a cafe can offer. Mm-hmm. So I guess to answer the first question.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't recommend to do what Mundos did. Go way overkill, be super strict about it. But yeah, let's
I guess to answer the first question though, should a cafe or should they not? It depends on your culture in your cafe. But I think that generally, like, there is room for it in a coffee cafe without overshadowing the coffee. You just have to do it right.
Yes.
Without taking too much attention and priority from the main thing.
Give it the care that it deserves. Like, and if you have the budget for it, maybe, like, there's lots of tea companies out there that will want to educate you on the teas. You know, take that time, educate yourself, and then serve teas wonderfully. But don't make it the forefront of your business and then forget about coffee, you know, because that's what people are mainly coming there for.
Yeah. So the different kinds of teas that a cafe could offer, I think primarily are loose leaf teas.
I definitely recommend that for sure.
Yeah. So loose leaf teas, you've got, traditional teas, you've got herbal teas. Mm-hmm. we Mundos has offered chaga, which isn't tea, is it? Or is it technically tea?
No, it's not. It's just mushroom with spices, you know.
But that was kind of on the tea bar.
Yes, it was similar. It's similar to like an herbal tea, you know. It's like using foraged ingredients, not any actual tea, just herbs. But what's actually not an herb, it's a mushroom. So
it's true.
But there were spices in there. It was meant to be a playoff of like a hot chocolate. We called it the hot chaga. So it was this mushroom plus cocoa powder and a couple other spices in there.
You want to know what's crazy that I just realized? You make tea from plants. Mm-hmm. Okay, you've got. There you go, plants. Okay, fungus.
Yeah,
you can make a beverage from fungus. Mm-hmm. Well, we're missing. There's a couple more. Animal. There's a couple more kingdoms, but one of them, is animals. What's animal tea?
That's
broth. It's broth, guys. I figured that out.
Wow.
Yeah.
I was like, man, this is going to be some ethical dilemma on our hands. No, it's just broth. It's just broth.
Broth. It's chicken tea. That's what it is.
Crazy way to think about it, but no, I mean
beef tea. But you wouldn't like take beef jerky and hang on. Could you take beef jerky and steep it and make a delicious beverage?
I think that
Somebody try it.
to steep something, it had. Well, that's the thing with the hot chocolate. It was less so steeping, and it was more dissolving into the liquid. When you would strain it, there would be nothing left.
So you need to make beef powder.
Seriously, you really weren't steeping it much. It was much.
Okay.
It was more like dissolving.
That's a weird thing to talk about.
Topic
Anyway,
for another day.
Loose leaf teas. Then
Yes.
there is it can be in the same vein as loose leaf teas, but I feel like it's a little bit distinct. Is iced teas.
Yeah.
Depending on your context, that can be a totally different conversation. And then there is matcha,
Matcha,
which is
all the craze right now.
which is in a lot of cafes used similarly to espresso,
Yeah.
and put on a similar
Matcha is a wonderful tool for like building different drinks off of, swapping out your latte with matcha. That opens it up to different ingredients that maybe wouldn't pair well with espresso. So I think matcha is a great option to have.
Yeah. Let's work backwards then. Let's talk about
Yes.
matcha. Because I think that this is the maybe one of the primary conversations that people are thinking about. How to use matcha. What's the place of matcha in a cafe? Especially with it kind of taking off. I think that when things get popular, either people can get swept up in it really quickly, or they are really resistant to it simply because it's getting popular.
Yeah.
And they don't want to get swept up in it.
Yeah.
So I think that kind of both of those can be happening. So like, what is the place of matcha in the cafe? What are the benefits? What are maybe some of the drawbacks of matcha?
Yeah. I mean, I think like it is similar to coffee where there is some specialty coffee. There is some sacredness of this tea, and that like in Japan and other countries, it's enjoyed ceremoniously. And then when it's brought over to like the Western market, it's a fun green drink. But there's nothing wrong with that.
It's treated with utility.
Yes.
The same way espresso is for a lot of people. It's a energy shot.
Yes.
With no soul.
Yeah, and that is very reflective of Western culture in a lot lot of ways.
Go.
Yeah, go. Don't stop.
Don't stop.
I'm gonna get this.
Don't
on my
smell the
way
roses.
to do something else.
Be productive.
But I think that it's a similar thing to coffee, where if you really wanted to hold on to the sacredness of coffee, you wouldn't even offer lattes. And there are shops who've done this. I've heard about a shop in I don't know where it's located, but they've just recently, I think February 14th was their last day having a full espresso bar. They only have roastery tastings, pour overs, and then they serve a 10-ounce vanilla latte. That's it.
That's so interesting. The 10-ounce vanilla latte.
Yeah, they just want to.
Is it like batched?
I'm not sure, but maybe I think they serve espresso, but they don't serve like any drink. So it's very like held in this like sacred regard of like this is where we draw the line. But I think that for one, from a business standpoint, it's extremely hard to run a business that way, because
when you get
your
rid of
bread
the
and butter is your lattes. That's what's bringing people in the door.
People want bread and butter with their soup.
Yes,
they do.
And from there, you can maybe help people experience these delicious coffees that you love. But that being said, lattes are your bread and butter. I think matcha is a great option to have because there is a draw for it, and there always has been. It's not like matcha came up overnight. Mundos has been serving it for the last,
almost
6
10
years. We didn't serve it right away, but
okay.
6 or 7 years, we were serving it, and it's been like semi-popular. It's not anything crazy, but like now it's becoming more of a thing. But it hasn't really changed in the way that people enjoy it. So maybe there's more light coming to it now that people are seeing that maybe we're abusing the ceremony of matcha. I don't really see it that way. I see it very similar to coffee, how there's a time and a place to enjoy the ceremony of coffee or matcha, but there's also a use for just your lattes and your fun drinks that come with this matcha and different syrups pair with matcha better than espresso.
Yeah. At a certain point with anything, any specialty beverage, right? Like there is a reason to treat it with some respect and to make sure that it's excellent on its own, right? But if you can't experiment and have fun with it, you know, like that, it feels like a weird line that we draw sometimes, right? Like thinking about like in just the world of alcohol, right? Like neat liquors, like excellent neat liquors are really good. But you would never say that it's like we should, I mean, maybe some people would, but like we should, abandon cocktails altogether. Every form, they shouldn't exist because there's something unique about it.
Yeah.
And right, maybe I'm not going to use the most expensive, liquor in a cocktail.
Yes.
But they still serve a purpose and fill a role. And so I think that that's something that we're starting to learn with coffee is, just because we enjoy this on its own doesn't mean we can't enjoy it with a little bit more like as an ingredient, not just on its own.
Yeah. And
then I think that slowly following that with coffee is matcha. And I think that's maybe what's picking up a little bit. People are learning how to get creative with matcha and use it in more creative ways because it does open up your menu, especially your seasonal menu, a lot. This last summer, we had a drink that I made. We had a couple of, there's like a strawberry matcha, which is kind of pretty popular right now. I've seen different cafes do it differently, but it's a really nice combo. But there's a drink that I made that was like a highball drink, the matcha highball.
Yeah.
And so it was a botanical soda. It was very simple. We were selling these botanical sodas from Casamara Club in Detroit, out of Detroit. But they had one that was like very kind of lemony, herbal.
Do you remember which one that was, that flavor?
Green can. That's all I remember.
Nice.
Yeah.
I don't remember the names.
But that, a tiny bit of agave, matcha shot.
Boom.
Super good.
That's
really
I've
refreshing,
seen a lot
cold,
lately.
Summery drink.
It was so good.
It's just like highly crushable. You want to have 12 of them on a beach.
Real. That's one thing that I wanna really get into this year is more refreshing beverages because it's easy to have seasonal lattes and they're just they're lattes with syrup, heavy syrups like caramel or chocolate, and they're very heavy. But it's nice to have light and refreshing drinks.
And that is a door that I think that tea opens. That coffee can crack the door, peek in a little bit, but coffee can't walk through it. Not all the way. Coffee in its nature has something about its body that's just heavier than tea. And so matcha can fill that role, but even certain loose leaf teas, I've seen recipes that I haven't tried for really light loose leaf teas making refreshing beverages.
Yeah.
I mean, have you had an iced white or yellow tea before?
I don't think so.
Check. So good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's not just like ice water. No.
Pretty much.
Like refreshing ice
but
water.
like good. Like I on summer days, like leaving a shift, it's like, man, I just want to get an iced white tea to to leave the shift. It's really good.
Yeah.
But it's totally different. It's just not a role that coffee can fill because it's so light and refreshing and kind of green plant vegetal in a way that coffee isn't.
Yeah, it's a very unique flavor. But that being said, like matcha is very much, most people use it as an ingredient. That being said, I think it's very important that you make your matcha well. And then there's debates whether or not batch matcha is the way to go. I think batch matcha, if you can do it well, is great as long as you don't let it turn brown. But you have to make sure that your matcha can stand up on its own as well, because most matcha is enjoyed with syrup, and it's easier to hide behind. So if you have a bad matcha and somebody orders just a matcha tea, and it tastes bad, like come on, you have to respect the matcha at least that much.
Even behind syrup, though, like
if
you
it's
can
bitter
tell.
enough, you can tell.
You can tell.
Also, sift your matcha, guys.
It's
so important. We didn't know that was important.
It was like my mom. I remember
that day.
We were,
and I was like, "What the heck is wrong with your matcha? There's clumps in there."
Well, because it had happened before, but I just remember one time, like when Mundos was young, we were in the cafe with my mom, and she got a hot matcha, and there were just big clumps in the bottom, and I think that was kind of the day that were like, maybe we should figure out how to solve this problem.
And apparently everyone had been doing that and we just didn't realize.
Yeah.
It's super easy. You just, you have your matcha bowl over your scale and then you just scoop over the sifter and you just sift it through.
Yep.
And that way you don't get clumps. It's great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I guess there's maybe a couple of layers to talk about with how to make the best matcha.
Yeah.
So one is the matcha itself.
Oh yeah.
One is the preparation. I guess this also falls into preparation, but like temperature, maybe we can talk about that a little bit too. Mm-hmm. So one, the matcha itself, that matters a ton.
Yes, it does. There's so many different grades of matcha.
It's funny because I was introduced to matcha through Mundos. Like I, didn't have matcha anywhere else. So I always had just great ceremonial grade matcha. And so I never really knew much else. I didn't get it at other cafes because I didn't have it very often anyway. But I remember shortly after I was married, we got some, had pretty good price on some matcha at Costco.
Oh boy.
It was like culinary grade.
Yeah.
And so I got it and I was like, this tastes like garbage. Which it's not that bad, but it does not taste like ceremonial grade matcha because I had never had non-ceremonial grade.
The tricky part about the grades of matcha is that there is no regulations for ceremonial grade. There's 3 grades of matcha most of the time. There's the culinary grade that's used for cooking. So there's going to be a lot of other ingredients in there to sweeten it. So it is not as important to be a fresh, vibrant. Maybe the importance is that it is a bright green color, so it looks good. But the flavor doesn't matter as much, or the freshness doesn't matter as much. Then there's barista grade, which is typically pre-sweetened. Don't recommend that. I recommend you add your own sweetener because there's people who don't want sweetener. And then there's that ceremonial grade. But that's where it wildly fluctuates because there's no regulation as to say, okay, your ceremonial grade. It's literally just the farm saying, okay, we have ceremonial grade matcha. There's no rules or regulations around that.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's why taste different matchas. Yeah. Maybe you've just bought Jade Leaf. Maybe you've just bought Rishi. If you like them, that's fine. But it might be worth exploring a little bit. I know that's something that I wasn't really involved in. You guys did that, but the owners at Mundos have spent a lot of time tasting different matchas to figure out what they want to use, and used Jade Leaf for a long time, and found something that you liked better. Yeah, and that matters. There are people that don't usually like matcha that do say at Mundos, this is the best matcha I've ever had. This matcha is so good. I love your guys' matcha. And there are people that love matcha that will say that too. And they care about it, and so there should be a certain degree if you're going to have something that you're selling so frequently, and you're going to have people that are really probably only ever going to have matcha at your cafe, or very rarely have your coffee. And if you're not taking the same level of care, maybe the same level of care isn't fair to say, because you have to do a lot more with the coffee that you get than with the matcha, right? You're not doing like the roasting process and all of that on it, but it should be to the same degree of quality that your coffee is. Yeah, it shouldn't be a big step down. Yeah, so people that might be their only experience of your cafe is your Cheeks matcha.
Yeah, I mean that was at a point where matcha was becoming really popular, and we wanted to. Because there's so many different matcha options out there, we wanted to offer a matcha and be able to put our name on it and be able to put our brand behind it and be like, this is the matcha we use in the cafe. You can use it at home too. This is a great matcha that holds up to the level that we hold up our coffee to. While we don't pick it, we don't produce it, we don't do any of that, we have tasted it and we use it every day, and it's delicious.
Yeah, and I can say confidently that the matcha at Mundos is the best I've had anywhere.
That's crazy.
It's true. I'm not a huge matcha person. I don't get it everywhere, but my wife likes
Did you ever have matcha?
And when we travel, any cafe we've ever been to, their matcha is not as good. And some cafes that have some amazing coffees, their matcha was really, really mediocre and disappointing. And so it matters.
It does.
It kind of taints your reputation a little bit. Even if you have this exceptional coffee, it's like, oh, well, why don't they care about this?
Yeah, it can speak to just the level of care you have with different parts of your business.
Or it even can say to somebody that we aren't as concerned about your experience here as we are with coffee people.
It's like you go to a restaurant.
That might feel like a leap, but it does say that.
Yeah,
it does say you as a customer are not as valuable to us as these other people because we don't put in as much effort to make sure that you receive excellence.
Yeah.
And that matters.
It's like if you go into a restaurant and maybe they have a vegetarian or vegan option and it's just absolute trash. It's like cardboard on a plate. And you're like, come on. You could put a little bit of effort into this and actually make it something taste good,
Yeah, it's
a
just
little harder.
It's tacked on just to get your money, but they don't actually care about you.
Yeah.
Because they're not putting in the effort.
It's hard to do because from a business standpoint, you're putting more time into creating a dish or whatever it is, and you're making less returns on
extra ingredients
But it's the invisible cost that you don't see that is destroying your business of people's just perception of you. It matters a lot. If there's this one part of your business that you offer and it's just not good, then it will degrade at that. But at least in a cafe, you have the opportunity to. If you don't think you can do something well, you don't have to do it. If you don't think you can do matcha well, you don't have to serve it. If you don't think you can do tea well, you don't have to serve it. You may be missing out on these, but if you're not going to do it well, you probably shouldn't do it at all.
Yeah, that might be better than doing it to maybe an insulting degree. It might be better. Or it might just be better to hold off until you're prepared for it.
Yeah.
There might be wisdom in that too, in your specific instance. But so the one thing is the grade of your matcha. Taste different matchas. Try different stuff. It should taste great on its own. It should just be so good on its own.
Yeah.
I kind of jokingly, I don't know if you've ever made this before, Jack, but a macchiato. Have you ever made that?
What does that mean? Like matcha with just a little bit of milk?
A matcha shot in a demi-tasse.
I have not. That sounds interesting, though.
I've done it. I've actually done it twice.
It's just for fun. Then.
It is good.
Okay.
It's very strong.
And
it's very earthy.
Sweetener?
No.
Okay.
But it's like, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's how you know your matcha is good. If you can, you can pretty much take a shot of it straight.
And not from the standpoint of just, making sure you respect the matcha, but also you have so much more freedom to make drinks. If the base for your drink actually tastes good, you have so much more freedom. If it's just bitter and gross, you have to mask it. It's like having bad coffee and dark roasted coffee. Your coffee drinks aren't going to taste good. You have to mask it with these layers of stuff.
Yeah.
Have a good base product and expand upon that.
Yeah.
And
so there's the grade.
Grade. Important. Have you ever had matcha taste like fish? Because I have.
Oh, I don't know if I've had fishy matcha.
Or it smells like fish. It's weird.
Oh.
It's gross. It's like that's when we were tasting lots of different grades of matcha. Like some of the culinary grades, it was like, this is so bizarre. It smells fishy, Weird. Not good. Actual good matcha does not taste like fish. So if that's one piece of advice I can leave anybody with is make sure your matcha doesn't taste like fish. It's just not fresh. So
yeah. Then the other thing is preparation. So you're talking about batching versus kind of individual. Mundos makes it every time.
Every time. That's something we've done from the beginning. And we've been talking more and more about batching it because making it every time, and this could maybe be a reason why Cafe doesn't offer matcha in the beginning because of this, if you can't do it well, don't do it at all. Making matcha each time is time consuming.
It's hard.
It takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of effort, and you think about making drinks on your line. You got to step off. You got to. You're weighing it. You're sifting it. You're whisking it. And it is kind of easy to mess up if you don't whisk it all the way. There's dry clumps in there. It doesn't taste good. You have to do it well, and that's something we've been toying with the idea of more of. And like with anything we do, I like to take some time to think about it because new trends will come up and new things will come up. Like I know a big thing in Australia is pre-batching your espresso. That's a different topic for a whole different day.
What are you Aussies doing?
They're pulling 15-second lattes, you know? It's a thing, and people do it. But
just make cold brew concentrate or something. Espresso does not taste good after it cools down.
They claim it does.
Folks.
We'll have to try it another time. It's a crazy, honestly scary topic to think about.
That's what we need to have a segment called "What's Happening in Australia," where we just try
and we're
Australian
just upside down
trends.
on the
we
video. Anyway. That's something we've been toying with, and we need to do some more internal testing on because that could save a lot of time. And if the matcha tastes just as good, that's great. I think two of my main issues with is it going to taste as good and perception. If somebody sees you squeeze your matcha out of the bottle, for a long time in my head, I saw people squeeze matcha out of a bottle. And I'm like, wow, that's such a cop out, you know. But that's just me on my high horse. You know, just looking down on people. And I'm like, that's just like, hold on. I have no basis for this. What if this tastes just as good? What's the harm in it? Because you're not going to enjoy it with the same ceremony that you're brewing it with, you know? Maybe reserve your ceremonial making it for making just actual matcha tea.
Yeah. Yeah, I do think that because there's a certain point where there's diminishing returns.
Yeah.
I'm distracted because Australia has done good things for coffee too. Okay, I just want to put that out there. Thank you, Australia, for some things.
Amazing coffee scene.
They do.
We do have,
but they also do weird stuff. But that's Australia.
Credit them with the modern cappuccino. I would think it comes from the flat white. You know, I think it's so much better.
Yeah.
Than the traditional cappuccino.
Yeah. So anyway, thanks. Some of you guys, but not thanks to all of you. Some of you guys are doing weird stuff, but that's pretty much every country, right?
I mean, it's like a, you know, somebody they've got so many ideas and they just do them all, and some of them stick, some of them don't. So we'll let you guys keep doing your thing, and
boomerangs and the didgeridoos.
We'll take the good ideas. Don't worry. I think we just lost our entire Australian viewership just now.
I don't know. Maybe they like it.
Maybe they do.
Is a boomerang like a bald eagle for Australians? You know. Gets them riled up.
What?
You know?
It's crazy.
I don't know. I'm not Australian.
No, you're not.
So, what on earth were we talking about? I do think there is a level of preparation, even with espresso, that if you put in a certain amount of work, you're going to lose it in a latte to where it almost... There's a degree to where certain care doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Because it's covered. And so I think the same is true with matcha. So if you're testing and you're like, wow, this matcha latte tastes exactly the same whether we make this fresh or batch it.
Yeah.
Tastes the same. I don't think that'd be the case for a tea that you're drinking ceremoniously. I think that you would actually notice that difference, and that matters more.
Yeah.
In the same way that, or in a similar way maybe, where we have an espresso blend for lattes, and we use single origins to serve espresso. Yeah. Because, right, you're not going to taste as much. Yeah. Like if you had a plain single origin like latte, you might taste it a little bit.
Yeah. I mean,
but there is a diminishing return a little bit there to where it doesn't matter as much, and you might prefer the consistency and the speed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because I mean, like with these single origin coffees, you can, if you enjoy it in the way that it's meant to be enjoyed, you'd really taste the care that the farmers put into picking the cherries, sorting them, and the fact that they're grown at higher elevations, they're harder to pick. But with espresso, because it's in this drink, for one, you don't want as much complex flavor. You want more basic flavor to pair well with milk in your syrup. But also the countries like Brazil that offer that infrastructure for mass producing coffee using mechanized harvesting, because they have larger fields where they can plant coffee and much easier grow them there. Also, because it's lower elevation, there's not as much complex flavor, so it's twofold. You know, it's much like it's a utility coffee, but it still is deliciously smooth coffee, which is exactly what you want for espresso.
Yeah, maybe we should have like a batch themed episode.
Where
we batch a bunch of things.
Everything. Batch a batch brew,
Drip.
batch espresso, batch matcha, batch tea. But that's whatever. Batch. What else would you do? Vanilla latte, hot.
Yeah, batch iced lattes. That's a growing,
Batch iced lattes are easy.
That's a growing.
Batch hot
interest.
lattes are hard, especially with whole milk. Near impossible.
Yeah. So
Okay.
there is that to consider, and I think that that's something that's maybe worth testing.
Yeah.
But I know that at Mundos, they haven't been, for as long as Mundos has had matcha, they have not batched it.
Yeah, we've made it every single time.
And have seen good,
Thousands of shots.
good feedback on their matcha,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
There's never been...
I mean, we've had compliments of... I mean, I've had some lady who wanted me to interview, and I did, for some article she was writing because I made the matcha by hand. She's so impressed by the fact that I made it by hand. So it's like, there is that, the visuals of it, that you're making it by hand, that... Does it taste any different? Probably not in your drink, but
maybe.
But
that's
maybe
the thing.
that's why I want to do more testing.
Because I do think maybe, and I think the next thing we talk about will have an impact on this too. But I would expect that the longer it sits in the bottle, the more bitter it's going to get.
Yeah, there would have to be some sort of parameters. You can't. But that's the thing that I'm thinking about, is that no matter what you do, it's just going to look a certain way to the customer, and you can't change that. They're going to see you squeeze out of the bottle. That's it. They won't know if you made that an hour ago.
Maybe you pour it out of
or
a glass
3 days
bottle.
ago. I mean, yeah, that would definitely bring up the value. But then that would increase the cost of how many of those glass bottles you're going to break.
It's true.
And then lose matcha that way.
Somebody needs to invent squeezable glass. I think that's the next thing we need. So
that's called the really hot glass. It just melts in your hand. It also burns the crap out of you.
Squeezable glass, so that you can squeeze it, and it's still
and then
glass.
You can just
you don't understand what I'm saying?
Just bounce.
You understand what I'm saying? So get on that, scientists.
I'd rather just be unbreakable.
Unbreakable glass.
Yeah,
but then you can't squeeze it.
I don't need to squeeze it. If it's matcha, you can just
what if you got caramel in there or some thick chocolate syrup?
Glass, come on.
But if it was squeezable glass, you would. That's the point, Jack.
True,
that's what I'm talking about.
That's true.
You want the non-binding properties of glass. Microwavable.
Yeah, but if it's squeezable,
safe.
it's probably going to leave microglass in it or whatever.
No. Not this stuff that they're inventing.
Okay.
This stuff is
Let
just...
me know when it's out.
This stuff acts exactly like glass, but it's squeezable. Yes. So then the last thing about matcha is the temperature that you make it at. And this is something that you'll have to tell me about this a little bit, but this is a change that Mundos has recently made. Yeah. So what's the change and why?
From the beginning, we brewed with hot water. And then we were like, okay, this, and by hot water, I mean 200, 205. We realized that's too hot. Green teas, lighter teas, they need cooler water. So it was 180-degree teas for a huge amount of time, several years. And then just recently, one of our baristas, Lila, shout out, recommended that we try it with cold water. I was very hesitant at first because I don't like changing things just for the sake of change, but we're willing to try things. And then we tried it, and it's less bitter, it's more sweet, and we just made the switch because it tastes better, and it's also easier to do. Easier to brew. So it was like a win-win. Very surprised by that.
Yeah. Now, because I saw that, I think it was Corvus Coffee. I think they had a seasonal drink video or something. And they mentioned something about the matcha. It was in the drink. And the barista said something about how they use cold water. And I was like, oh, interesting. And so I tested it once, and I was like, oh, this is good. And I mentioned it to Adam, and it was never like, I was like, we should do this. I was just like, oh, I heard about this. And he was like, kind of asking the question about mixing in honey. So does that still work, or do you have to get creative and do something new?
We found it still works. And I think my thought was like, if you lose the
temperature,
liquid, it doesn't stir as well. But the fact that most of the time there was just as much honey as there was matcha anyway. So by the time you got halfway through stirring it, it would cool down. Really doesn't change it much at all. You can still stir it with honey just fine.
That's surprising.
Maybe it takes an extra second, but it does. It just requires that manual stirring, like it always has. It really didn't change that much. We thought about if it didn't mix, maybe we would swap it out for agave or vanilla instead of honey. But I think I personally like the honey.
Agave and matcha is killer together.
Yeah.
Agave
at Mundos.
Agave and cold brew concentrate is a really great combo too in an iced latte. So that is a serious recommendation. If you were making matcha, if you're making it at home or in a cafe setting, try it with cold water. Mm-hmm. It tastes better. It really does. It's less bitter. It's a little bit more sweet. That was a good and easy change.
Yeah, I was very surprised by that. I was like, but tastes good.
Yeah. So those are the things, and I think that if you make matcha with cold water, I think that it would probably retain its flavor better in a batch form.
For sure.
Don't you think?
Yeah, because you're not going to have this like
heat that's like extracting and pulling.
Yes. Yeah.
Tannins.
You're literally just making this into a liquid form. That's all you're doing. You're not really doing much extraction other than this small amount of agitation that you're doing. And then you pour in a bottle, but we haven't done much testing. I would like to do some testing. But
yeah. Is there anything else to say about matcha in that context?
Matcha, it's good. If you haven't tried it, try it.
Yeah.
It's not for everybody. Some people, like Ben Law, tried it once.
Ben's a silly goose.
Wait. I'm confusing somebody else. Ben, do you like matcha?
Ben,
comment down below.
Ben, whether or not you like matcha, you're a silly goose.
I do know my grandpa doesn't like matcha. He tried.
That makes sense.
One of the baristas recommended matcha. Said he would try it.
Grandpa Jim?
No, other grandpa.
Oh.
Yeah.
Tom?
Yeah. Doesn't like it. But
he's a pour over guy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But he gave it the benefit of the doubt. You know?
Yeah.
He tried it. It was recommended. Mint matcha. Not for him.
Huh. That's fine. I don't think that like vegetal taste is for everybody. I don't think they like that kind of the plant
and
like bitterness.
It's not matcha's never really my go-to either. But I'm not really a big latte guy either. So
I definitely have more matchas in the summertime because I like every once in a while. If I've had
that watermelon matcha we had,
that was ridiculous.
A little bit.
That was ridiculous. Yeah. But it's just like a nice iced matcha drink, whether it be a milk-based drink or like a sparkling soda or whatever, is just refreshing. Yeah. So good. So there's matcha, and then the other things that we were talking about were loose leaf teas.
Yes.
And iced teas. So iced teas can be loose leaf. Maybe you don't have kind of their own thing on your menu, but I know that in the summertime, that's what in the wintertime, that's what Mundos does. Mundos, if you order an iced tea, they have an iced recipe for every loose leaf tea, and we'll make it that way. But in the summertime, high demand. Not every tea, but some of the teas. Iced black tea. Iced berry, hibiscus.
Yeah.
Those are the only two, right?
Those are the only two. Yep.
That's what everybody wants.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah.
In the summertime. So
and we typically will have one of those seasonal drinks be mixing it with lemonade. Also delicious.
Yes. Those, having those batched and ready, people will order them like crazy in the summertime. People always want iced tea, cold tea. But it does open the door to some drinks too.
Yeah.
Iced teas, especially like the heavier teas like black teas. And Mundos hasn't messed with this a ton, but I think there's room for it to like make seasonal beverages that include a tea.
We've done that before. I mean, we've had the sunset on ice, sunrise on ice. Those both included different teas.
That was
in them.
Oh, what was in that? What tea was in that one?
Black tea was in the sunrise on ice, or was Earl Grey?
Don't remember.
And then the sunset on ice was, I think, just the berry hibiscus tea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also
some orange.
Hannah made that peach bergamot tea. That was killer too. Like fresh peach, using fresh peaches.
I don't know why no one ordered that. It was so good.
So honestly,
like
anytime I recommended it to somebody, they loved it, and they continued to order it. But people didn't order it off the get go.
You guys need to order that again so we can have it, because I will drink it.
Yeah, please bring back the peach bergamot tea. Yeah, whenever it expire, I just take it home. Because it wasn't like it was bad. It's like the health department.
No, health department tells you.
So I just go.
Yeah, you bring the half-gallon jug.
Chug it in the car on the way home.
You drink your sorrows away, you know?
Yeah.
That's how it goes.
Drown them in that peach iced tea. So good.
So much better than alcohol.
Guys,
man.
Lipton peach.
No hangover.
Lipton peach iced tea is so gross.
Real.
Guys, it tastes so bad. Please stop buying
Get
it.
some real stuff, man.
Please.
It's fun. It's not that hard. Better for you. You'll enjoy it because it was your hard work. Come on.
Yeah. So iced teas kind of have their own place.
See.
They in some contexts they can be treated the same as loose leafs, but I do think that there is a context in which they need to be treated differently. They batched, higher volume, higher demand.
I mean, think of your busy season. If it's during warm months, then it makes sense to batch as many things as you can make deliciously, I would think.
Yeah.
So that you can get people in and out that don't have to wait for it because it tastes just as good, if not better, because you're doing larger batches of it, so it's maybe more consistent per batch, I would say, but or per serving.
Yeah, because
and you can let it cool down in the fridge.
But yeah, some of the things that Mundos made with teas, Jack mentioned the sunrise, the sunset. Those were at different times, but those were like tea, a little bit of like special syrup, and some sort of like dairy in there too. As in like milk, not cheese or anything crazy.
No. Not yet.
Cottage cheese.
Blue cheese coming at you. Watch out.
Oh, don't tell Adam. Don't even put that idea in his head. That guy's a blue cheese fiend.
Shouldn't have said it. Adam, don't watch this episode.
You'll have to like maybe bleep it out every time we say blue cheese so he doesn't know what
bleep.
we're talking about.
Yep.
So there's those, and then there were also like the kind of the cleaner non-dairy. Like a cleaner, I mean like lighter. That's what I mean. But like like Arnold Palmer's lemonade kind of stuff, summery. Those kind of batch teas, those open those doors.
Yeah.
Because you are just not going to be able to reasonably make Arnold Palmer's like iced tea lemonades when you have to brew the tea every time. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know, so there's that. Loose leaf teas. I think there are several things that people are looking for with loose leaf teas.
Yeah.
People always want green tea.
Oh, yeah.
They always want black tea.
They want the primary colors, you know?
Yeah, yellow, red, and blue tea.
Yeah.
They want green tea. They want black tea. They want bergamot.
Or English breakfast tea or bergamot.
A lot of people won't know
Grey tea.
that bergamot is what they're looking for, but that's what they want. They don't know the name. But bergamot and herbal tea.
Yeah.
Without caffeine.
Free
without caffeine.
Come on.
So what Mundos has that fills those roles are, and that's another thing that Mundos has taken a great deal of effort to like find really excellent teas. Mundos has always had really great teas, and there were times where they had more, and probably too many offerings.
Definitely.
And whittled it down.
We've refined it for sure.
And some of those are missed, right? Like that yellow tea was great.
Yeah.
I'm not missing it because I took some of it home because we had extra and it's in my cabinet and it's a delicious tea. But I do think that some of those teas were good, but it was just maybe they were just too niche. They didn't need to be on the menu. Whittle it down was good. So now there's kind of something for everyone.
Yes.
I mean, what was that? There's not a oolong tea either.
No.
Anymore.
No, just the white tea.
No oolong.
But I missed the oolong, but didn't
I have that at home
often.
too.
Yeah, I got a tiny bit left over there.
The one tea I'm remembering, you'll have to tell me about this. There was like that smoky tea.
Oh, the smoke.
Was that an oolong?
Yes, it was an oolong. That was crazy.
That was weird.
That was weird.
It was good though.
Yeah, it was an experience. I wouldn't drink it all the time, but very interesting.
Yeah, it was like smoked tea. It was like it's just like in your nose, in your senses.
Yeah,
smoky.
I would love to bring something like that back again, just for like an experimental. It's fun.
That would be an interesting base for a drink.
Yeah.
Or like a smoked tea cold foam.
That's crazy. Oh yeah, that actually would be
Smoked tea infused cold foam.
Just right drink for that.
Yeah, just top of my dome. This is the thought.
That's you would put on that back episode 28. You put that in that train robbery drink that you.
Yeah, maybe.
Smoke on the foam.
Smoking a foam.
Anyway.
Yeah, so there's black tea, green tea, bergamot, oolong. No, black tea, green tea, bergamot, and herbal tea.
Yeah.
Then there's all sorts of things that you can fill those with, right? Mundos has each of those things represented.
Yes.
In the herbal tea category, are there 2?
We have...
Or 3 now?
I think we have 3. At least 3.
There is a chamomile. There is a
gotta have that classic herbal.
A
berry
hibiscus, which is so good. It's got like whole
Absolutely
chunks
good.
of fruit in it. That's really good. And then what's the third? Is that the mint and
nettle?
That's a local tea, like a mint tea.
Yeah.
Super good. People love those 3 herbal teas.
Good stuff.
The other tea that's in the classic tea category is white tea.
White tea. Yeah.
I think that I don't think that's something you have. I don't think you have to have really light teas on your menu.
I wouldn't say that's necessary. It's probably least ordered, but it's good.
Yes, it's probably least ordered. But the people that know about it love it.
Yeah,
it's such
like more of a
good
purist
tea.
type.
That white tea is so good.
Yeah, it is,
and it's just like I said earlier, just so good, iced, so good. So that's something worth exploring. White and yellow teas, either of those, they're very, very delicate. They're really good, and I think that they're for the people that really want to sit down and enjoy a really excellent tea.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess to summarize what we talked about, I think there's room in a cafe for tea.
Yes.
You can't let it detract from the main thing.
Yeah.
But if you are going to do it, make sure that it matches your level of quality. That's not to say that it matches the level of effort. It shouldn't match the level of effort as your coffee if you're a cafe, but it should match the level of quality.
Yeah.
It should be at that same bar, same there, and to make customers feel valued. Tea customers feel valued because you're giving them a great product.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any thoughts, Jack?
No. Enjoy your tea.
Enjoy your tea. I'm probably gonna have some iced yellow tea later today because I've been talking about it so much and it sounds so good.
I know that sounds quite refreshing. I don't have any white tea. I've got yellow, a couple other options there, but
yeah, that yellow tea is iced. Zach, shout out Zach Curtis. He put me onto that years ago to try the yellow tea ice.
Nice.
I think he was one of the people that was the saddest to see it leave the menu because that was his he loved that.
I mean, the tea menu rotates every once in a while.
Yeah, and it's good to do.
Yeah.
It's
you can have fun with that for sure.
Yeah. Just as long as you don't get rid of the staples for people.
I wouldn't recommend removing your black tea.
You get rid of black tea, people will freak out.
Yes.
Freak out.
All right.
Cool.
Episode 33.
It's been episode 33.
Sweet. Well, we got some cool more content in the work for you guys. But until then, we'll see you later.
Adios.